What is most why the F do you know that fact? If you have a shrimp allergy you also can't eat cicadas. Our local landfill will take your loved one's body and dispose of it for $35. Wow. You sure do have a lot of loved ones. Why? Yeah. Before clocks were invented, clockwise and counterclockwise were called diesel and widdershins. Probably the most innocent fact here, but chickens, hens, have an egg song when they lay an egg. It's like them yelling, "I just laid an egg. WOOOO." And then the other hens chime in yelling, "YAAS, she just laid an egg. WOOO." Farmers need to take care the hens are well fed, because if they decide to try eating an egg they realize how delicious they are, and will continue to do so. If the other hens observe this, they'll do the same. Chickens will also cannibalize under certain conditions. Farmers used to put red tinted glasses on chickens so they couldn't tell when a flock mate was bleeding, so they wouldn't attack the bleeding chicken. While these were sometimes referred to as rose tinted glasses, but this sadly isn't where that phrase comes from. Most dying people don't just slow down breathing and stop silently like the movies. The agonal breathing they do the last few hours or minutes is often startlingly loud, but it makes their CO2 so high that they are unconscious and not suffering. It's just hard on the hearer. An orgasm can stop hiccups. Thank you. With a username like Iron Spider Hulkman you may not need to rush to thank him just yet. Saddam Hussein wrote a romance novel. Is it good? It's awful. There is a podcast called Behind the Bastards, TLDR. There is an episode called Saddam Hussein, erotic novelist. Love Behind the Bastards. One pump. As of about 5 minutes ago, that kind of big brown bats can have a wingspan in excess of a foot, and will fly in a figure 8 pattern about a 20-foot x 15 living room when startled. Male hedgehogs masturbate for pleasure and you have to be careful picking them up, because sometimes they have semen on their feet. It's something you have to look out for when you're a hedgehog owner like myself. My girlfriend had one. All those cute internet videos don't show you how filthy these animals are. There's a reason there are so many videos of them bathing. Considering mine ate dog poop outside and self-anointed himself with it, I can say that it's true. He's a cutie, though. You can neutralize the smell of a rotting corpse by covering it with the ashes of a common campfire. Any wood ash should work, friends. Hardwood ash will work. Softer, more resinous woods like pine won't. Imagine this, you're walking down the road and you see a car crash. Someone gets out of a car and you realize it's someone you know. So you call their name. They turn and crumple to the ground. What happened? They dislocated a bone in their neck. And when they turned their neck, they fully snapped it. There's a bunch of stories of this happening to people, which is very scary. Edit. It was a fracture, not dislocation. My apologies. Can confirm. I was on an ambulance service and witnessed this at a very minor traffic accident. The gal had internal decapitation and had no pain, so she was walking around when we arrived on the scene to treat a different person who had gotten cut fairly badly by glass in the accident. She dropped in front of us and was confirmed dead at the addition. Internal decapitation is probably the scariest 2 words put together I've read in a while. Same here. Just another way to die added to my list of fears. Urine is historically one of the biggest exports that Newcastle, UK ever had. It was used for a variety of purposes, especially for making ammonia to make paint. Is it also the secret ingredient for Newcastle beer? Please say no. Newcastle yellow. Don't ask what's in Newcastle brown. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a really popular novel and was made into a stage play. The actor playing the eponymous role Laurels was so good at switching from the good doctor to the evil Hyde that people wrote to the police claiming that he absolutely had to be the real Jack the Ripper, who was thought likely to be a qualified doctor based on the way he dissected his victims. They thought no normal person would be able to make such a transformation. What is the actor's name? Richard Mansfield. Ducks will F anything. Girl ducks. Dude ducks. Dead ducks. Blue ducks. Heck, even a dog, if it doesn't fight back. Sounds like a horribly wrong Dr. Seuss poem. One duck. 2 duck, red duck, dead duck. You can substitute blood for eggs in any recipe. 65 g of blood can be used in place of 1 regular egg. Perfect for the skin pound cake I just learned about. I can't stop laughing, thank you. Licking marshmallows and sticking them on a car on a night below freezing will cause the marshmallows to adhere so strongly that if they are removed while still frozen they will take the car paint with them. Great. Now I know another tempting way to be an absolute P to someone. Probably not what you're looking for, but 1 pound of sugar per 1,000 pounds of concrete will ruin the concrete and it will never set firm. That's kinda cool. May even be useful in some situation. Edit. As commented below, it is useful in some situations. Usually when something is wrong with a truck or in a construction site, so it is easier to remove the concrete without it setting firm. Some people also mention sabotages during wars and in France. Comments diverge about the time. Either French Revolution, WW2 or 80s/90s. Broken down cement truck. I think some drivers even keep sugar on board. The last person who died building the Hoover Dam was the son of the first person who died building it. But did they bury him in that great tomb that knows no sound? In that case he'd still be around. Wasn't that a place called Boulder on the wild Colorado? An important predator to the Canadian moose is the killer whale. The moose will swim over sea straits and get picked off by the killer whales. Moose can also dive up to 20 feet underwater to get at vegetation, which is a staple of their diet. They need the salt. If they keep diving for underwater vegetation, we are gonna end up with whales too. 0 in a couple million years. So it begins. Again. You need approximately 23.6 kilograms of anthracite coal to burn an average human male, 80 kilograms, at cremation temperatures. Redheads require more anesthesia drugs to remain unconscious during surgery. We are also more prone to anemia and clotting disorders. Edit. I'm redhead. From a family full of redheads. I've got anemia, and my mom bleeds at even the slightest cut or scrape. Most of us bruise super easily. I've been known to wake up with new ones, and most of us require more anesthesia. I did when I got my wisdom teeth out. I don't know the exact science of it, but it's something related to the gene mutation that causes red hair in the first place. I'm sure someone who knows about the exact science bits can explain it better. I'm redhead. Have clotting disorder. Can confirm. I'm a redhead. And I've been anemic throughout my entire life. It became quite dangerous when I was pregnant. Despite the iron pills I took, my husband was also a redhead. Our kid had a 95% chance of being the same and did not disappoint. And he had clotting problems, which did not mix well with his heart issues. My girl has his problems and mine. So she didn't roll the best genetic dice. Although her hair is indeed magnificent. That in WWII the United States designed bat bombs, basically canisters filled with bats strapped with incendiary devices. The idea was that you drop them over a Japanese city, which were largely wood structures at the time. The bats roost in attics and so on. Then after a certain amount of time they detonate. Soviets trained dogs as tank bombers. But, in actual combat, they would go toward the tanks they had been trained on. Man's best friend, live fire. They say it's the particular smell of the Russian fuel that the dogs associated with rewards. Dolphins have been known to tear the heads off fish and use their corpses as cock sleeves to masturbate. They also chew pufferfish to get high. That's why they're always so fucking happy looking. Just getting high as balls on neurotoxins and jerking off into some fish guts. Goddamn, what a life. Someone on Reddit said this on a post. Rats constantly leave a trail of urine while dragging their tails. You can follow the trail with a RAV light. Apostrophe. Can confirm. I've had friends with rats as pets and they get pee everywhere. It's not a constant stream. Just tiny drops here and there. Still pretty nasty though. Nobody knew how the air feels reproduce until 2015. Okay, so for people asking, and to clear stuff up, I looked into it. The mystery is not how they reproduce. Females release eggs. Males fertilize eggs. Little baby eel larvae. We see this in eel farms. Thing is, the mystery is where they come from. Wild eel larvae are almost all spawned from the Sargasso Sea, which is a gyre that is warmer and saltier than surrounding waters, which is helpful for the eel. We see that adult eels all begin to migrate to the Sargasso Sea around August and December, no matter if they are east, west, north, south of it. This is the mystery. No one has ever seen an adult eel in the Sargasso Sea before 2015, and even then we only have seen one in this gigantic area of the ocean where literally every goddamn eel is supposed to be for a few months. There are a ton of eels. How can we only find one in the 100 years this has been debated? 1 fine eel. How the f do all these eels find each other when we can't find s? And what if this eel was just fine chilling? What if it took the wrong eel exit and got lost? The whole study is fine whack and doesn't prove s. Why can we find so many tiny little baby eels in which we can easily determine that they all come from the Sargasso Sea, but when we look for the ones that make them, we have no goddamn idea where they are? The FR eels, man. Gold? For eels? Gold's atomic number is 79. Subtract the 7 months in which eels don't breed to get 72. Then multiply by the 28 eels tracked and subtract the 1 that got to the Sargasso Sea, and you get 2015. The year that the research was done. It's a conspiracy. It's all connected. The eels are taking over.